Hey, everybody. I'm super excited to be here with you for the first ever Elevated Mission podcast. My name is John Ruggles. I'm the founder and president of Elevated Mission and really excited to be here with you. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of my background. I first got to give a little credit to, I got Zach Rates behind the turntables over here, mixing up all the great things that you guys are getting here on this podcast. But I got also to tell you about my co-host coming up. But first, let me tell you a little bit about me and my background. So 28 years of coaching high school and college football. Also been a business executive as well as in ministry and nonprofit space. So I've done a lot of varied background, and that's kind of come together for Elevated Mission in that we really are empowering individuals to unlock their inherent power, peace, and purpose. At the heart of everything we're doing at Elevated Mission, and we provide cutting edge tools and expert guidance to foster an unique wellness experience. We're trying to bring that mind, body, and spirit all together to give full wellness for individuals as they want to grow in all areas of their life. So into that, and because of my background in sports and entertainment, having broadcast for several years with the Minnesota Vikings and doing a daily TV show and game day broadcast with them. And then it was funny because, Zach, you'll remember this, but during the whole COVID thing, when I had to get a broadcast partner that was bubbled with me in my bubble, we screen tested my son Ian, and he got selected out of that screen test to do the broadcast with me, and now he still does the broadcasting up there with the Minnesota Vikings, and they broadcast into 1,600 different locations throughout the state of Minnesota. He does daily broadcasts with the Vikings and game day broadcasts. So we're going to be having him coming on, and we're going to talk sports and different things as my co-host. But this is just an introduction. We're just talking to you guys about what we're looking to do. I'll probably talk a little bit of football with you right now because why not? I'm talking, and that's what we want to talk about is some football. Because here's the thing. Now, Zach's a baseball guy, so I'm just going to tell you guys why it's so important to talk about football and not baseball. So he's laughing. So here's the deal, because there's 160 some games in baseball, but we have only 17 games in an NFL season. We got even less in a college season, so it makes them much more impactful. So there's actually things to talk about. So anyways, I'm just messing with you guys that are baseball fans. It's just American sport, football, so that's why we talk a lot about that. So and Zach's nodding, he's agreeing with all this. So we might have to get you a microphone so that you can react to what I'm saying for sure. But anyways, we want to have a great time with you guys. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. We're going to talk about health and wellness. We're going to talk about your mind, your body, and your spirit. And we're going to talk a lot about sports. So, it's so wild to me right now, and that is that so much quarterback stuff on Netflix. You've got the miniseries Quarterbacks, where they're looking at the lives of Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota. We've got this brand new one that I haven't even seen an episode or anything of, is Johnny Manziel podcast, or it's a little mini series as well. And but I was amazed by seeing the trailer and the stuff that's out there where he watched zero film while he was in the NFL, and they confirm it with his agent, and they confirm it with him, where he's almost bragging about it, how he watched zero film. I don't even know how you operate as an NFL quarterback without watching any film whatsoever to prepare for games or practices or any of that kind of stuff. But and that's how GMs get fired. That's how they don't have jobs any longer, is when that happens. That's the whole reason. There's a lot of hate out there for Kirk Cousins and just the way he plays the game, and some of the, just his goody two-shoe attitude and all this kind of stuff that people just kind of, I don't know why they get annoyed by that, but it's a problem for them. And so, but the Johnny Manziels are really the reason that a Kirk Cousins exists and makes so much money, because a GM keeps their job when Kirk Cousins is their quarterback. He's always available. He doesn't get hurt. He's going to play good at the position. He's going to be consistent, and he's going to do the right things that the coach wants them to do. And so GMs keep their jobs when they have people like Kirk Cousins under center. So anyways, And there's some really cool stuff in there. Some of the stuff that we're talking about with Elevated Mission, as far as like neurofeedback that you can watch in that quarterback miniseries that Kirk Cousins is doing to get his mind right, where they're actually training him to be able to optimize his breathing, his heart rate, while he's using this biofeedback, some of the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing at Elevated Mission. And so to make sure that mind, body, spirit is in full function so you can have power, peace, and purpose in your life. So that is exactly the kind of stuff we're doing, and much, much more. So, but it was really cool to watch that and how these athletes, Patrick Mahomes as well, like doing innovative new things in their training regimen to be the best athlete that they can possibly be. So super excited to talk about all this stuff, how that relates to Elevated Mission, all the things that are going on. So I got to get Zach's take at some point about Oregon and Washington joining the Big Ten. That's really changing the landscape on college sports, college football. You've already got UCLA and USC joining the Big Ten. Now you got Oregon and Washington joining, and it really looks like with like Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC, you got all those 4 teams from the Pac-12 joining. So that's how the Big 12 joining, the Pac-12 joining. I guess they call it Pac-14 now or something. I don't know. Anyways, Pac doesn't even really exist anymore. But so it was the Pac-10 at one point. So anyways, joining the Big Ten, and it's really becoming SEC and Big Ten are just such a dominant 2 conferences. I wouldn't mind seeing the NCAA go away, and we almost have like almost an NFL setup where 2 big conferences, and then you get a Super Bowl out of those 2, like the 2 conference winners, like coming out of the NFC and the AFC, and then you get your Super Bowl. Same thing with college football. I think it feels like that's where we're kind of heading with all that, because just so many good squads in both the SEC and the Big Ten. I'm really super interested to watch a league like the Big Ten where you've got Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State in one conference. Like, the SEC has dominated kind of the landscape because it's kind of been spread out other than the SEC. But you got all those teams in one place, and the Big Ten's been kind of top heavy with Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. So it's you've had the haves and the have-nots, but now you're starting to see, wow, that's going to be a gauntlet to get through that Big Ten. It's definitely going to be a gauntlet through that SEC, and now you're going to add Texas and Oklahoma. We're going to see where that all goes. I think you come into that SEC as strong as Georgia, Alabama, LSU are. That they're going to take some beating up a little bit when they join that SEC as well. But it's an amazing, the talent that Texas is stacking up right now with Manning and a bunch of the recruits, 5-stars that are going into that. And I'm super interested. Another thing on the college league game, I'm super interested to see with Deion in Colorado. Colorado was really, really bad last year. And now you got Deion coming in, changing the whole culture. I don't know if they have anybody actually playing football there anymore. I think there's 2 people on scholarship left, but they've had so much transfer in and so many guys going and everything. It's a must-see TV for sure, and I think they're going to be better. They can't be worse. They were really bad, so they can't be worse. And I love the stuff that Deion's putting out there with Oklahoma. So we're going to jump into all that kind of stuff. We love college football. We love NFL. We love talking about that. We'll probably jump into some NBA and MLB as well, but we also want to talk about how to get power, peace, and purpose in your life. We want to talk about all this kind of fun stuff, and we're just going to have a good time talking to you about the same kind of things we sit around and have conversations about, and we do research on, and where we're finding that we want to help people right there in their lives, wherever they may be, to be the optimal you that you can be. So super excited about the Elevated Mission podcast and being able to come to you guys weekly and just talk to you about all this stuff, and it's going to be a fun time, so get in your seat, buckle up, get ready. We got some great stuff coming your way, and really looking forward to connecting with you on the Elevated Mission podcast. I'm John Ruggles, and I got Zach Rates behind the turntables again, and we're going to see you guys real soon.